they furnish on the inside. So it is tonight with our spiritual windows, with our spiritual windows of vision. You have to keep your window of vision open, because without a vision, we perish. Though the house of my spiritual soul may seem small, I can escape from littleness. I can escape from small-mindedness into a great horizon of hope as I keep my windows open. That's why I really wanted to focus in on this particular story tonight, because I love the story of Daniel. I'm not just saying Daniel was in the lion's den. There's so much that happened to Daniel as it relates to why he ended up and was victorious in the lion's den. So I wanted to look at this story for a few moments, because if you remember the story, Daniel had been brought as a captive from Jerusalem at the age of 12. Oh, he hadn't done anything wrong, but it was the disobedience of the children of Israel and those that were in Jerusalem. So God allowed Babylon to capture them. And among the Israelites that were captured, Daniel was among them. A 12-year-old boy. But the enemies noticed something special about Daniel, and they said, we need to watch him because we see that there is great leadership in this young boy. We see something special in this young boy. You know, if it's in you, it's just in you. And so because of signs of maturity and because of intellectual promise, Daniel had been selected with some other youths of noble lineage to receive an education in Babylonian law. We're going to train him right in Babylon. We see something in Daniel. We're going to train him. We're going to watch him. We are going to nurture him because we see great leadership in sight of him. So guess what? He's in Babylon now. He's a captive in Babylon. But look what his first job is. He is assigned to the king's palace. Think about how these other Babylon boys that were born right in Babylon, how they must have felt. Here's a little captive, just got over into the country. And now he's working in the king's palace. Some of them never even saw the king's palace. He's working every day in the king's palace, serving the king's table. I mean, what a great honor, but he faced a problem there. The meat that was spread on the table of the king had previously been offered on the altars of the pagan gods. So now the king and his entourage, they finished eating. They're going out to the dining room. And can't you see the head waiter said, wow, the king left some food on the table. The entourage, they left food on the table. Listen, don't tell anybody out there, but we can eat this food from the king's table. We can eat just like the king. And it was Daniel who said, no, thank you. Well, how dare you, little boy, you just got over here. How dare you turn down me from the king's table? I can't do it. I'd rather have a simple diet. I'd rather go on a simple fast, a vegetable and water. I just cannot do it because I wasn't raised like that. Anything that's been offered on the altars of the pagan gods, I just cannot participate. But look what's happening. Even though he would do strange things like this, he kept going higher and higher and higher. Every time you turned around, Daniel was getting another promotion. I mean, the people in Babylon couldn't understand why this young man had so much favor with the king and with the Medo-Persian Empire. Governor of the Medo-Persian Empire. Now, the enemies of Daniel, they're really upset. They said, we got to get rid of him. He's got too much favor. His success had provoked the hostility of his pagan associates. Because let me tell you something about people. Some people hate success in others. If you're down, they'll pat you on the back. It's going to be all right, baby. It's going to be all right. Just hold on. Just hold on. I know it's rough. It's going to be all right. But just as soon as you get up on your feet, come on. As soon as you start rising to new heights, somebody, somewhere is not going to like you. And you might as well get over it. You can try to give them things. You can try to be as nice as you possibly can. Some people just are not going to like you. Why don't you look at somebody and say, get over it, get over it, get over it. Some people just don't like you to be happy. Some people don't even like happy families. You can't even show your family pictures to some folks. Come on, I did not show you my husband. Hey, he look good, that's my husband. That's my husband. Look at my children. Yeah, this one's 6, this one's 12, this one's 14. Oh, ain't nobody want to see those ugly old pictures. Put them pictures up. They're trying to work here. Some folks just don't like people who are happy. Speak the word. The enemies of Daniel, they were upset with Daniel, and they made up in their minds, we got to get rid of him. He's causing too much trouble. But here was another problem the enemies of Daniel were having. They knew that Daniel, in matters of public trust, they could not find any fault against him. I mean, this man had character. And let me tell you, character is something that is missing so many times in our lives today. Yeah, don't get personality mixed up with character. Personality is who people think you are, but character is who you really are. And Daniel had character. He had character. I mean, he would do his job. He wasn't playing when he was on the job. It was like us today. Daniel would be on his job. The only time he would take a break was when it was break. He wasn't worried if the boss was around. He was going to do what he was supposed to do. You know, in our day and time, he wouldn't be like some of us sitting by the radio, listening to the song, and then here comes the announcer waiting on number 9, and then you sneaking trying to get on the cell phone. Number 9, can't talk too loud. I'm at work, talking about number 9, I need to know. Not Daniel. Daniel did what he was supposed to do, when he was supposed to do it, how he was supposed to do it, so they knew that they could not get Daniel that way. But they also knew that he was vulnerable in one area in his life because he had a policy. Come rain, come shine. Didn't matter what day it was, 3 times a day. Daniel was going to take his break, go up into his chamber, open up his window, get down on his knees, and thank God for just being God. There goes Daniel. He's going up to pray. There goes Daniel. He's going up to pray. They knew that he had this policy of praying. So the enemy said this will be his vulnerable area because they knew something about Daniel. He would not compromise his relationship with God. I appreciate the job in Babylon. Thank you for the promotion. we need to get straight right now. I will not compromise my relationship with God. Oh, I wish we had some more Daniels in this day and time, because I'm seeing more and more people who are compromising their relationship with God. Listen, the enemies of Daniel said, listen, we can't get Daniel, but let's go to the king. Let's go to the king. Let's go to the king and let's set Daniel up through our ego-tripping king. The king liked to be buttered up. He liked people to praise him. So they knew that this was the king's weakness. And so the enemies of Daniel, they go into the palace. They got an appointment to see the king. They walk in buttering him up. Oh, King Darius, live on forever. No king like you. We've had kings in our lifetime, and there was no king like you. You are the greatest king ever. The king, we have been noticing in our country that people are not honoring you like they're supposed to. In fact, we've even noticed you've even hired some people from another country, and they don't even honor you. They're praying to some other gods. And that doesn't make sense. Not here in Babylon. So we've got together, and King, all we need you to do, because we've made up a decree, and all we need you to do is sign that if anybody for the next 30 days is found worshiping anybody but you, but our idol gods, they will be thrown in a lion's den. Okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm working hard. I have a good kid. They need to be out. But they weren't concerned about the king. They wanted them. The decree is signed. The decree is signed. And I can see that as they went out laughing. We got Daniel either way. We got him either way. Because if he goes and closes his window for 30 days, all that talk that he's been doing has just been a lot of talk. Because he acts like his God is so much, he ought to be able to save him from a lion's den. So if he gets scared and closes the window, we got him, because every day from now on, we'll just call him a hypocrite. You hypocrite. What you going to that window for? You didn't go for 30 days. Oh, if he goes to the window and bows down on his knees, we still got him. And the reason why we got him, because if he opens up that window, gets on his knees, he's going to the lion's den. So either way, we got him. We got him. Daniel will be out of our hair. We won't have to worry about Daniel anymore. So now, it's prayer time. My God. Everybody knows his prayer time. What are you going to do, Daniel? I mean, he's official now in the government. He knows that the decree is signed. Are you going to keep the window closed? Are you going to keep the window closed? Do you know what Daniel did? He went right up into his chair. The Bible said, just like he did every time before, opens up his window and bows down on his knees. And I can see him as he looks out his window and he says, I want you to know that I'll let nothing separate me from that God. I don't care if it's a lion's den. I will let nothing separate me from the love of God. I will not compromise my relationship with God. Some of y'all know what bothers me in this day and time is I told you too many people are compromising their relationship with God. I don't even think sometimes in the body of Christ how bad yesterday was and what the Supreme Court did. It was a bad day yesterday. It was a bad day. The demons in hell just got loose. They got loose loose because it's a way of going against what God said. Listen, I'm here to tell you people, we can't compromise this word. President of the United States is doing a great job helping with health care, helping young people, helping seniors, but there's one area I can't agree with him on, and that's same-sex marriage. I can't do it because the Bible says a man for a woman and a woman for a man. Yes. I didn't make up the rule. One of the most powerful foundations in the United States of America today is the American Cancer Foundation. But do you know what their motto is? We fight cancer. We fight against cancer. I never hear anybody say, shame on the American Cancer Foundation. They hate people with cancer.
Talk, Bishop.
They'll say they hate cancer, but they don't hate the people. But you see, the devil is such a deceiver. When we come against sin, they act